Sex sells. No, I'm just kidding. Howdy, hi, friends. Welcome back to my channel. I'm very cozy today in a robe because I'm getting ready to go to a wedding. And this relationship is like a beautiful one that I fully support. Unlike the two I'm about to read today. Just kidding. I don't know why I said just kidding, because that's probably not true. I don't think these two are that bad, but I'll let you be the judge. Let's jump right in. Okay. Me. That was flat. Okay. Hey. Story number one. My 25-year-old male girlfriend, who's a 25-year-old female, slept with another guy twice when we had been dating for 3 months. She kept it secret for 3 years, and that it was none of my business. Did I not deserve to know? I think you deserve to know. Why would you say that? All right, let's see. I have been dating this girl, let's call her Jill, a fake name, for 3 years now. We live together and our relationship is quite good. Okay, recently Jill admitted to me that she slept with another guy twice and went on a date with him after we had been dating for 3 months. Okay, Okay. At this point, Jill and I had slept together, had been texting constantly, and it felt like the relationship was progressing well. However, we were not official yet. Okay, which it makes sense because in the title you didn't say she cheated on me at the start of a relationship. It says you've been dating for a while. You assumed, and I think rightfully so, that you were exclusive with each other. But you found out that no, at some point in the beginning, there was this other guy that was around. Heard. I feel cheated on. But her defense is that we hadn't talked about exclusivity, which is fair. Yeah, that is fair. However, the thing that really bothers me is that she kept it secret for so long. She didn't just lie by omission. She explicitly lied during conversations we had about our past. Okay, gotcha. Jill said she didn't tell me because she knew I'd be upset. Right, there's a difference between no, I thought in the days of dating, we didn't say anything, so I don't think that counted. I talked to you about my exes, but this wasn't really an ex. We went on a date and we slept together, right? There's a difference between I genuinely didn't think it's important and I didn't tell you because I thought you'd be upset. Now you're real sneaky because one is just a little inconsiderate, let me be the judge of what I find important or not. But you explicitly didn't tell him because you didn't want to bother him because you think he'd be upset. And I think you think he'd be upset because you feel bad that you did it. And that's, for me, is the bigger thing. Where it's not no, I was multi-dating and I own up to it. That's one thing. And I think that's fine to say. But the fact that you tried to keep it hush over time, that feels like you were being messy. You weren't just being I'm fair, honest, and an open book. You're I'm a book, maybe. It's giving, I keep what I tell you what I want to tell you. Jill claims that she was under no obligation to tell me about the other guy since we weren't official yet. It's not about obligation, it's about courtesy. Hey, I care about you and I want to let you know. I want to let you know before we are in a formal situation or we're about to be formal, or you ask me a question about if I'm seeing someone else or if I've seen someone else in the past X time frame. Out of courtesy and respect, I am going to tell you. Because you can say that about anything. Well, this is my life, so I'm not obligated to tell you if I slept with someone on my own time. You could justify that with anything. Come on, girl, be for real. However, I disagree. I would have stopped seeing her on the spot had I known earlier, and I think I deserved to know. Okay. We became official 1 week after she slept with the other guy. Yeah. Right, there's a difference between within the first 3 months and it's 3 weeks, in but the fact that this happened towards the tail end right before it became official, that does feel a little icky. That's fair. And right, and you should have the information so you can make that call, right? That's not for her to decide. She can just present the information. And it's take it or leave it. And you're saying you would have left it, and that's fair. I probably would not have made that decision if I knew. Yeah. I also thought that exclusivity was something implied after 10 plus dates. Yeah, I also think that's fair. People like to pretend oh, well, we didn't have this conversation. After a certain time, it's not necessarily that I agree with it, but it's like common law marriage where it's like, you've lived with this person for 10 years and then you broke up. They're like, the state recognizes it as a marriage. Like, you going to have to pay some spousal support. And that'll be a whole separate conversation. But like, there is this implication of like, I'm making all this time for you. We've been doing this. We're not really like, it's like, who else you see? If we're talking all the time, I'm like, who else do you have time to see? So I think we have multiple date nights, constant texting. I learned otherwise from this experience, right? Like, I think you made a safe assumption of like, I don't think I probably would have done it to be safe, especially with certain kinds of people, gay community. But I would have definitely been like, I would have asked, but I see why you didn't. Like, I see why you thought it was implied. Now we live together and have fallen in love over the past 3 years of our relationship. Yeah, this makes a breakup more complex, but I feel like our relationship is built on lies. My question is, am I crazy for thinking she should have told me? I feel like I deserve to know. You did deserve to know. This one's easy. You did deserve to know. You're allowed to be upset. The thing that bothers me most is that she didn't tell you because she thought you'd be upset. And I mean, she was right. But you can't build a relationship on like lies. And even more importantly, if I was her and I was bringing up this information, I would come from a place, and it doesn't sound like she did, where it's like, I want to own up to something that I did and I didn't feel the need to, but I realized now I was thinking about this and like, it wasn't fair to you. So I'm putting all the cards on the table now. Like, I want you to know that this thing happened. It obviously didn't mean a lot to me because I still chose to be with you, but I wanted you to have this amount of information to know before we continue moving forward, because I do love you and out of respect for you, I want to do it. It doesn't sound like she was trying to have that kind of conversation, just like, so I did this thing, but don't be mad. You're not allowed to be mad. Like, we're in love now. We moved in together. Like, I'm going to put you in a place where it's going to be very hard to leave me. I don't like that. I would have preferred if she came from a place of like, I want to let you know and you can make your decision, but just know I'm sorry and I would really like to move forward. Like, come with that and like, let him make the decision. But it sounds like she's trying to keep what she can. And she probably does because she loves you. If you feel like she's giving full ownership over the situation, then like, I think you can make it work. If you feel like she's still not owning up to it, then I would leave, because that's a character flaw of like, no, if I admit faults, then like that means that I'm a bad person. No, we all make mistakes. The question is, can you be honest and truthful? And can you own the mistakes that you make and then make the promise and changes and the actions to not do it again? And if the answer is yes, then like, great, then you're not a bad person. You just made a mistake. That's for you to decide. You're allowed to feel however you want to feel. One more story. Okay, last one. I feel like this is kind of similar vein. The girl's a 23-year-old female, and she's dating this guy who's a 24-year-old male. Now, his girl, I need to reorganize this so it makes sense. His girl made out with another guy on vacation, and we had different views on what exclusive dating means. If you're exclusive, you're not kissing nobody else. Okay. How do we move on from this? Maybe you don't. Maybe you leave her ass. Let's see. I have been dating this girl, 23 female, for around 1.5 months. A few weeks ago, I asked her if we were exclusive, and she told me that we were. Okay. We did not discuss what exclusive means. I don't think you need to. I think exclusive is... We talk about things that are implied, like the last story. I think exclusive is very implied. You're operating as if you are in a relationship to see if it feels right. And then you can make it official. It's like the hard trial. Like, no outside people are coming in. It's just us. Or anything like that. Last week, she went on vacation with some friends. She came back yesterday, and we had planned to meet today. However, today she sent me a message telling me that she made out with some guy on the dance floor at the club the last day of the vacation, and how she felt bad about this. Well, at least she feels bad. She went on to say that she realized that we probably had different interpretation of what exclusive dating means. Bullshit. Because she feels bad because like this thing happened. She's like, oh, I feel bad because maybe that's different. She wasn't thinking about that before. She's just like, oh, damn, I think I need to tell him and maybe I can use this as my out. So we met up to talk about it in person. She told me that to her, exclusive dating means that you don't go look for other people to date and focus on dating one guy. Correct. And I would argue making out with random strangers on the floor. Okay. She knew. She knew. This is a reach. Call her Elastigirl because this is a stretch. Elastigirl, right? That's Miss Fantastic. Not Mrs. Fantastic. I'm the invisible. I'm crossing wires. Elastigirl was right. Here we go. It does not mean that you can't make out with other people. That's what she said. To me, exclusive dating means you don't see other people at all. You don't flirt with others, and you certainly don't make out with them. Correct. Yes. I should say correct. That is also my interpretation. I feel like that is most people's interpretation. This is also giving Jezebel. So let me close this up. Got to pay the premium to see it. No, I'm just kidding. Help me, Jesus. The people are like, Jonathan, finish the damn story. Make out with them. These were things that she thought came with being in a relationship, not just dating. I'm calling bull. I'm calling bull hard. I can see her point in this. I could see it in another. I could see this if the verbiage was different. I'll say that. We never set clear boundaries, so technically she didn't cheat. She was apologetic. Yeah. Okay. And said that directly after it happened, she thought of me and have been regretting it ever since. Well, at least that's good. I do think I believe her when she says that now that we have set clear boundaries, it won't happen again. However, I'm not sure how to get it out of my head. That's fair. I do like her a lot, and it really did hurt. But I told her that we can continue to date and talk about it soon to see how it feels. Do you think that this relationship can continue? What do you think of this situation? I think it moved a little fast, if I'm being honest. Like, you dated, like, you've been together for like 6 weeks. You've been dating for 6 weeks. And you said, like, what, 3 weeks in is when you asked to be exclusive? That's a bit soon. You're right. You're still testing the waters. I think around 6 weeks is when you kind of have that conversation of being like where you are now is when I would start to have that conversation about being exclusive. And I'm not saying it as an excuse. And you're like, I'm hurt. I understand the hurtness. I think. How old are you? 24, 23. I think you are, well, you're definitely allowed to be upset. Because you said exclusive, I think most people have the same definition. And the fact that she didn't feels weird. Because you guys are in your early 20s, I could see her being around people, especially like younger people, where it's like no, like that doesn't really count, or like that's fine. So I could see it. I could see that being more of an honest thing of like, no, genuinely, I thought it was this, and then I thought about it afterwards and like, maybe not. But I would say, take the foot off the gas. Like, you've only been seeing each other for 6 weeks. Of course, that's gonna like hurt or feel like that. Of course, that's gonna feel icky. If you really do like this person, I don't think it's worth throwing away over this, especially because she was on vacation, so she did not have to tell you. She actively told you because she didn't feel good about what happened and wanted to make sure things were cleared up. I think that's a great sign about like, I shouldn't have to know about something for you to say that you made a mistake, right? It's like the owning up to it. So like that part's nice. And I think you have a lot of high expectations, which I think is fair to have in a relationship, but I think you build those over time, right? This is the courting stage. We're talking now. All right, we're dating. Great. Now I want to date exclusively. And for me, that's a little longer period of time. I think for most people, it's just a little longer. So I don't think you're wrong for doing it by any means, but I feel like something about this and the writing is like, feels like you're talking about this as if it would like she was your girlfriend. And I think you can just take a breather, especially because you're so young. If you were older, I'd say something different, but you're young. I just think you can take a breath, definitely continue to date, see if you can take time to like forgive and work through it. And if you can't, just break up. I mean, truly, if you're like, I don't like the fact, I know for me at my age, I'd be like, I don't like the fact that this happened so early on in our relationship. It feels like this is the time when the most effort it should be going in. I shouldn't say the most effort, but like you're trying to woo me, but now you're sucking someone's tongue on a dance floor. That don't make me feel good. So there's a world in which you can stay together and or you can break up. Hmm. Yeah. All right, friends. So that is all for today. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop in the comments how you feel about that last one. Would you forgive your partner? Do you think they were moving a little too fast? Have you heard like different interpretations of exclusivity? I haven't, but I'm curious to see if you have. Get your mind out the gutter. And I'll see you later. Bye.